Hello viewers, here's a look at the lighting in the living room as of August 2023. So we'll start off with, we'll call it scene 1 just to give it a configuration. This is only lights from the outside plus the candles. I had gotten all those candles up on the tap there for Christmas time to put in the windows, and when Christmas time was over I just never got around to putting them away, so I just threw them up there, and he says, well, might as well turn them on and use them. So I've been using those candles up there, and it actually looks really cool and it might become a permanent thing up there. Got a couple candles on the not the desk, the table there. Got a candle on that table. These are all those Luminara moving wick candles. They're electric. Very fond of those candles. They're really neat. So we have the light just from the candles and from the outside. So most of the light will come from the light on the south side of the house, which is the 70 watts touch and glow high pressure sodium area light, which is blurry. There it is, and that shines in on the room pretty good here and provides a decent amount of light, and you can see everything on the camera. You can see it in person. It's not bright, but it's there. So we got the light coming in from that, and then we have the light coming in from the street light out back, which is a 100 watts American Electric 115 high pressure sodium light. And then we have some light coming in from over here as well. See a little bit of it on the wall there. It kind of reflects off the top. And this is coming from the driveway light, which is a Woods 70 watts high pressure sodium area light, which is also blurry. There it goes. So on a typical evening, I will leave it like this, plus this lamp. This is a very standard way that I light the room. So in the evening, if I'm sitting over here watching television or something, I have this lamp which lights up the couch pretty nicely, and so I can see the food or whatever I'm doing here, and the TV there. And this is a very pleasant and inviting, relaxing atmosphere to me. And the other thing about having the room this dim is you'll pick up on features outside. You'll have a lot of outside lighting here with much more to come. And so for instance, having the lights off in here really makes these trees stand out, and even from here inside the room, the uplighting on those trees provides a very strong and noticeable accent point, which is really neat. Of course, along with the street light, you can say the same thing about the street light out back. And it's certainly dim in here, but you can see well enough to walk around and whatnot. The light from this lamp gives you enough to see the buttons on the remote or to answer the phone or something like that. So that's that. Let's see here. This lamp, there's two. It's hard to believe. There's two LED bulbs in this configuration here. This is I believe it's a 40 watts Sylvania Vintage bulb, and I actually find it to be pretty satisfactory. As you can see, there's no banding coming across the video screen, which is a good evidence to the fact that there's very minimal flicker. I can use this and I find it pretty acceptable even as the primary source of light in the room. This is one of very, very few LED bulbs I've been able to use. And curiously enough, the 60 watts version I can't stand. It flickers like crazy. But for whatever reason, the 40 watts one I can use, and I have a few throughout the house. They've been running a lot and I like them. This lamp still has my Christmas shade on there, I just never took it off. This lamp is I believe it was my great grandfather was the original owner. It's been in the family for a long time. It's very old, and it's a nice match to the walls in here, or to the trim in here. It looks great in this room. So I have that lamp there, and this runs a lot. I always have this on. So there's that lamp. Next I'll turn on, well, let's do this. Let's turn on the ceiling lights. We'll start with them really low. Turn this all the way down. Turn that on. It's nice dim lighting. It's a little bit brighter. And I'll add the ceiling fan. I'm pretty sure that the ceiling fan has the same 40 watts vintage bulb from Sylvania, and it's a 2000, or maybe it's a 2100 Kelvin. It's not 23, it's lower than that. It's a really nice warm color, and it's almost identical to the color of these halogen bulbs when they're dimmed very low. So everything matches really nice when it's set low. And might as well turn the fan on too. I often have this on just the slowest setting, just for aesthetic purposes. Put these lights up a little bit more. Yeah, there we go. Now everything's about symmetrical here on the ceiling. And if I have people over for dinner or something, this is typically how I'll set it up, because I like to sit in the dark, but a lot of people probably don't like to sit in the dark. So this is another pretty standard use case. We'll call this scene 2, with all these lights on. And then sometimes I'll add these lamps. This lamp has two 100 watt equivalent CFLs. I believe they are from the EcoSmart brand. They're from Home Depot. I bought a bunch of these when I moved in, and so far they're all still working. They are 2700K. Oh, you know what? I think those vintage bulbs are 23. I was confusing 23 with 27. I think those are 23, or maybe 2000, somewhere around here. These are 2700K, which is standard soft white, and it's not saying the wattage, which is annoying. Oh, there it is. 23 watts, 1600 lumens. I have yet to have a single one of these go out. I have them all over the house. So I got two of those in here. And this lights up this corner pretty good. I wish that lamp was a little bit taller because it doesn't get onto the couch. You see how that one gets on the couch? This one doesn't. So a taller lamp would have been better for over here, and maybe a taller table. Or maybe even one of those tables that has like the 2 tiers, where it's got the taller piece in the back. That's what I need there. So I gotta get something like that for that side, but that works there for now. So I've got those 2 lamps. I got this lamp over here, which has a General Electric 2D CFL. I believe it's a 60 watt equivalent CFL. If I could find where here it is. Turn this on. So first it starts off with the base. It's got a 4 watt incandescent bulb in there. There's that. And what I like about this lamp is that when you go from the second position to the third position, it doesn't flick this off, giving it another startup cycle. So it's a good application for one of these fluorescent bulbs. There's that 2D. And this looks really cool in here because these 2D bulbs, because they're so big, the light output is not jarring. You can look at the bulb even if it's exposed, and it's still pretty pleasant. So this is a cool lamp to have this in because you can see the bulb, you can see it from the outside, you get the reflection in the window, and it just really shows off that neat vintage CFL in there. And it's a beautiful lamp too. And speaking of nice lamps, we also have this lamp, which has, I believe it's a 75 watt equivalent CFL, also from the Home Depot. I'm going to turn it on so we get some light in this particular picture. This is a 3-way lamp. Oh no, it's 100 watt. It's a 23 watt, so it's a 100 watt equivalent CFL. It's the same one as the other two in that lamp over there. I got this shade very recently and I really enjoy it. I have never seen one like this. Of course I have tons of the bigger ones, you know, that go on like a hanging lamp, but this is an actual lamp shade. It's like a small version for a lamp. Never seen one before, may never see one again. Paid a good amount for this, but it was well worth it. It's a really nice shade, and it just brings back that old 70s aesthetic. It's great, great shade. A nice fancy lamp too. It's got a marble base, brass stand. That lamp is pretty tall. Actually, it would work over there, but I like the aesthetic of that big wide shade over there instead. Eventually, I have to get a harp extender. I have a second shade that's kind of similar to that. It was originally on that lamp over there, and I would put it on here to have matching shades on either side of the couch, but that shade is much taller than this lamp can accept, so it needs I gotta get a harp extender for it. Now the desk over here is very well lit by two beautiful vintage lamps, which you can also see from the backyard and while you're on the deck. Now I'll turn everything up all the way. I did replace this dimmer switch with a 1000 watts dimmer switch. It's got the dimmer on the side like that. It's been a good switch, I like it. So now this is all the way up. And it's pretty bright in here now. This is decent task lighting. I have some of these angled down. This one shines on the photographs here. And I guess the rest aren't angled down. That one I kind of tried to aim more over the stove because I need extra light when I'm cleaning the stove out. So these have two, they are 39 watt draw, I believe is a 50 watt equivalent, halogen bulbs. And it works. I don't like the way it looks because the fixtures just don't match anything in the room. Everything in here is brass and warm colored, and these are silver, so they're kind of a standout, not in a good way. So eventually I'll do something else in here. Plus I don't have a good stock of these bulbs, so once they start going out, like right there, I have, I believe, one unopened box of 6 downstairs, maybe a second open box I've been using, and then that's it. Can't get them anymore. Yes, you can find them on Amazon for egregious prices. I think they're up to like $40 for a box of 6. Yes, I could on the off chance find them at a tag store or a thrift store every now and again, but it's not sustainable. I have a sustainable source of standard 60 watt and 100 watt light bulbs stashed away. I need to replace these eventually with some kind of fixture that can accept a regular bulb. I'm thinking, ideally, and I'm not sure it'll be possible to find this, but I'm thinking I'd like to get some cans like these in brass and put those up there so I can just use regular incandescent bulbs. Because the problem with these is you can't really put an incandescent bulb because it would be unshielded, which is unpleasant. I've tried it. So I don't know where on earth I'm going to find that many matching cans. Certainly don't think you can buy brass ones new anymore. So we'll go with this for now. I could buy more bulbs at $30-something a box, but I don't think it makes sense to spend that kind of money just to keep a setup alive I don't particularly like anyways. So I don't know what the maximum wattage of these fixtures is. I don't even know how to get them off of the track. I know nothing about them, but I've been running it like this for some time now, and there's been no issues with anything overheating, so it seems to be content running it the way it is for now. It'll stay like this for a while. I don't run it like this very often, so these bulbs should last quite a while, but at some point it will need to be changed. Lastly, I have these lights on the deck, which actually provide a significant amount of light here into the room. I don't know if you can see the difference from, yeah, you can see the difference there. So sometimes, actually oftentimes I don't have these lamps on. And I just have it kind of like this, and that gives me enough light over there. It's amazing how much of that light actually comes in the room, which kind of makes sense because it's right outside the window, and there's no reason the light wouldn't pass through the window. So in the wintertime when I take those down for the Christmas stuff, it's like, oh, it's so dark in here. Anyway, so that's that. That's the lighting in the living room. Very nice, pleasant lighting, but it can also be ramped up to pretty bright if I need to vacuum the floors or clean the stove or whatever, perform some kind of task in here. This ceiling fan has been in here for I think about a year now, and there's so many fans I want to put up in here, but this one has not gotten old. It's just timeless. It's such a classic icon. I'd hate to take it down for something else, but eventually I'm going to have to, otherwise I'm never going to enjoy any of the other ceiling fans that I have.